Jackie.
Is stressful. Well, that was a bit intense. But there are some jobs in which a slight mistake or a small accident could cost you your life.
You all, just be careful now.
Is that a warning? Number 10, firefighter.
I'll set the bloody place on fire!
Help! While everyone is running away from the fire, there's a group of people going directly into the flames. Firefighters voluntarily run into buildings on fire to aid those in need.
All right. Oh, thank God!
Holy Shamo.
And although they're well trained, prepared, and have specialized equipment, the risk of being injured or killed by burn injuries, collapsing structures, and even explosions is quite real. If it wasn't enough, they can develop diseases from inhaling smoke and other residues during fires.
Fire safety is not a joke, son.
In the United States, 9 in every 100,000 firefighters die. A round of applause for these brave heroes. Number 9, police officer. Well, no! It goes without saying that one of the major killers of police officers is gunfire. In countries such as the US, the leading cause of death for law enforcement officers is road accidents, bullet impacts, and other kinds of violent altercations with people. There have also been deaths reported from illness, exposure to hazardous materials, or animal attacks. This profession has a fatality rate of 13 per 100,000 officers in the United States. Now that you know how many police officers have died while on duty, don't expect much kindness from them if you get pulled over. Number 8, miner.
Oh, the Underminer! I always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me!
It's okay to go a bit nuts when 15 in every 100,000 people die at your workplace. Not even being a giant dinosaur would save you. These accidents usually happen because of collapsing tunnels that are destabilized by continuous excavations. Miners also work with heavy machinery that can crush rocks and highly flammable materials that could cause fires and even explosions. I think I better stay home writing scripts for these videos.
Hey, this is easy!
Number 7, power line engineer. Have you watched the movie Life on the Line? Being a power line engineer is complete madness. While it's pretty uncommon for lightning to strike just where you're installing a line, this job reports 19 deaths per 100,000 workers in the US. Linemen usually work with high voltage cables and at great heights, where any mistake could lead to electrocution or a deadly fall. For that reason, those who pursue this profession follow a strict security protocol and wear protective gear on which their lives truly depend on. Doc, no! You should have read the protocol! Number 6, truck driver. Goodbye, Homer. Hope you come back. Being a truck driver is one of the riskiest jobs in the world. If you're wondering why, well, for starters, you drive alone for over 1,000 miles every day, including mountains, deserts, and cliffs. There's no one else around to help you in an emergency. Besides, 50% of truck drivers in Europe admitted to falling asleep behind the wheel, of those over 30-ton monsters due to the fatigue of long hours to fulfill deliveries. Now, pay attention to this amount. It's estimated that up to 27 in every 100,000 truckers die in the United States. And if you haven't been discouraged from taking this job yet, this fact will be of your interest. Truckers say that robberies are their greatest threat. This scene from Fast and Furious isn't that cool anymore, is it? Number 5, garbage collector.
I'm coming.
You never know what you may find in the trash. Although I doubt you'd find this doll with homicidal tendencies, you could end up really hurt or even dead when working as a garbage collector. With the fatality rate of 34 per 100,000 workers, you may get cut by glass or stuck by used needles while collecting garbage, since some people irresponsibly throw away their waste. The problem is that wounds caused by these waste and materials can lead to infections and deadly diseases, such as typhoid fever, cholera, and tuberculosis. However, the leading cause of death in this job is road accidents. In other words, when the truck crashes with another vehicle. Number 4. Airplane pilot. If you're about to go on vacation, you may want to skip this position. I'll give you 3 seconds to do it before I start with the scary info.
Private plane?
Well, since you're still here, I'll tell you once and for all that 55 in every 100,000 airplane pilots die. You know what that means, right? Yep, it means that the planes they flew probably didn't stay in one piece either. Only in 2018, 556 people died in plane accidents. Besides, these accidents could happen for many reasons, such as mechanical failures due to the weather or a human mistake in any of the procedures, including pilot errors. By the way, phones can actually interfere with aircraft equipment. Have you ever dared to use your cell phone during takeoff? Tell me in the comments. Aside from plane crashes, pilots can also get cancer from the excessive radiation they're exposed to every day. Number 3. Fishermen. I'll try something new. Fishing.
Fishing for stinky clams in a smelly old boat on a filthy lagoon? You call this fun?
Come on, Squidward, let's go. What could go wrong? What? I've just been told that 100 in every 100,000 fishermen die while working. Get me off this boat! Day after day, they use fishing nets, gear, ropes, hooks, and other machinery that could injure them at any time. If you add the fact that they have to do all this on the slippery deck of a ship, it could be a scene from the Saw saga.
You see, the knowledge of death changes everything if I were to tell you.
Anyhow, there's always the risk of falling into the water and drowning in huge waves. And there's also no medical center nearby in case you get seriously injured. Fun fact, the most dangerous kind of fishing in the world is fishing Alaskan crabs in the Bering Strait.
Being a greenhorn on the Cape Caution may be worse than prison.
If you joined the crew of one of these ships, you'd be surrounded by water below 4 degrees Fahrenheit with waves higher than 35 feet. This isn't a job, it's a suicide attempt. Why do they do it? Wait, what? You could fish $1 million in less than a week? Interesting. Number 2, lumberjack. Remember when Kratos was a lumberjack? Well, if you practice a profession in which 135 in every 100,000 workers die, you'd wish to have the strength and resistance of the god of war. Being a lumberjack is awfully exhausting, and getting injured is extremely easy when your main tool is a chainsaw, an axe, and heavy machinery. Sometimes you even have to cut branches while hanging on a rope several feet high. Speaking of this, how to forget that a big tree could fall on you at any time? I think this should be included as a requirement to become a superhero.
Don't take from my pile.
Number 1, astronaut.
It's a trap!
It really is. It may not seem much that only 22 astronauts have died during their missions or training, but in all of human history, only 565 people have gone into space. This means that if you try to set foot outside your beloved planet Earth, be careful. Just trying could make you part of that 3.8% who didn't survive. Many things could happen in outer space, and no one could help you. You're literally in an aluminum bubble floating away from everything you know, but you haven't reached that point yet. You could die during training. A single spark in the pure oxygen chambers could instantly burn you into a crisp. A failure during takeoff could cause your ship to disintegrate. Maneuvers or any other malfunction on the way home could make your ship catch fire, crash, or, why not, both at the same time. So I don't understand why NASA receives 6,000 annual requests from people to join the space program.
'Cause either way, it'll be one hell of a ride.
If you're also dying to join NASA, your dream could come true.
Is dead. No!
bonus. Before I go, there are 3 other risky jobs worth mentioning. If you were an underwater welder, you'd work at depths greater than 160 feet, where water pressure could make you pass out and drown. By the way, you'd be using very dangerous machinery, and your visibility would be almost zero. Now, if your contract says bomb technician, double check the insurance part. I'm talking about what your family would receive. You'd wear a 90-pound protective suit, which goes with gloves that no one would wear since it would get in the way. It's useless against 33 pounds of TNT that could destroy a bus. May as well be the same as going naked. And don't forget that snake milkers work with species like the coastal taipan, whose bite can kill 100 people. These venoms are used to make antidotes, but the snake must be awake to extract it since they only inject it when defending themselves or attacking.